Hello my beautiful friends, Christina here, and I'm so excited to be back in the kitchen with you today because we're gonna be doing a juicer comparison video. And one of the most frequently asked questions that I'm getting asked right now is, what is the best juicer? What's the difference between a slow cold press, a masticating, a centrifugal? Which one's the best to buy? Which one has the most yield, the best quality? Which one saves you the most money and time? And we're gonna go over all of that today. Juicing is super popular right now because not only did we just start our 21-day fully raw and vegan challenge, but it's the beginning of the year. Everybody's doing their best to commit to their New Year's resolutions and to get in shape. And juicing is just one of the best things you can do for your body. And I just love all the enthusiasm around juicing right now. So I'm excited to dive into this video. For those of you who are new to juicing, just know you are welcome here. I love breaking down the basics for people. Juicing is an amazing way to get in a ton of nutrients in one glass for your body. Even if you're not plant-based or vegan or vegetarian, you can always drink one glass or one jar of green juice a day, any type of veggie juice. It's a great way to get in all of the nutrients that your body needs. And before I get started in comparing these two juicers, I just want to let you know that the 21-day challenge is happening right now. And you have all the way up until the 31st to sign up. And it'll be available on my website for the rest of the year. But right now is when the group is doing it. It's not too late to join. Me and Cash are going live every single day in our private Facebook group, and such an amazing community has formed there of people who really need support and encouragement in going plant-based or going vegan or just trying to get healthier. Everybody is welcome. And so for those of you who are looking to make a change, please join this challenge. It is so much fun and so amazing. Also, every single person who joins my challenge automatically enters a draw to win a Well juicer. And we're gonna be announcing the winner on February the 1st, so stay tuned to the challenge and my Instagram stories because I'll be announcing the winner there. On top of that, an extra bonus that I'd like to announce here is that me and Joe Cross from Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead are gonna be doing a live hangout for all of the challenge members who participated, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. So if you wanna get access to the challenge, the recipe, the videos, the giveaway, the hangout with me and Joe, please click on the link below to join the challenge. It's gonna be so much fun. And did I mention that everybody gets a 10% off discount on this juicer as well? Click on the link below. Click on the link below. All right, so let's dive into this video today. I am really excited to compare the new Nama juicer with an older standard centrifugal juicer. This is an older centrifugal juicer, and you can see that just the model and the way that it's shaped and the funnel in which the juice goes through is completely different. You'll also notice that I taped the brand name of this juicer because I'm not here to put any company or anybody down. I believe that anybody who finds juicing, anybody who falls in love with it, no matter what machine you use, it's all good. You're making your best effort. At the end of the day, it's about getting people to juice more. And I want to make it very clear that the reason why I'm making this video is because I've received questions about it so much. And I really wanted to show the comparison between different kinds of juicers just so that you could see the difference and you can make the decision for yourself what you think is the best juicer for you. All that being said, I do want to say I am a part of the Nama family. I love this juicer. I love the team. I love the company. It was founded and created by Joe Cross, my beautiful friend from Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, and Dan Sheehan, another inspirational person who wanted to reverse his diabetes, so he got into juicing. And this machine is just built with so much integrity. A beautiful community of people. It's based in the US. They have amazing customer service, and the quality and just the work and time that went into this machine is epic. So I am proud to be a part of their team. I wanted to make that clear as well. Not just to show that I have an agenda here or that I'm trying to sell a juicer, but merely just to show you the differences between these two machines. As you can see here, I have celery, carrots, and pineapple. And I'm gonna be running each of these ingredients through each of these juicers, and I'm going to be measuring and comparing not only the quantity, but we're gonna be looking at the quality, the time it takes to use it, the process, the pulp. We're gonna be looking at all aspects of this to help save you time, money, and effort. So allow me to explain to you the difference between a slow juicer and a centrifugal juicer. Slow juicers, or cold press or masticating juicers, are juicers that use as little heat as possible in a very special extraction process to get the juice out of the machine. So basically the fruits and vegetables are pressed so tightly that the juice comes out, and there's very little pulp in this process. And it uses less heat, as I mentioned, which means that the juice maintains more of its nutrients and the quality is better. It's also exposed to less air during the extraction process, which means it has less oxidation. There are many different models of slow, cold press, or masticating juicers. This is just one of the more recent ones, and it has incredible technology in it. If you open the centrifugal juicer, you'll notice that there is a spinning wheel inside. And it's basically a funnel to where it shreds your fruits and your vegetables with this spinning wheel, or the strainer in the spinning wheel, and pulp is extracted to one side and the juice is extracted to the other. There is a lot of heat in this process, and you'll notice that after you use it, that the machine or even the strainer might be very warm. So yeah, just kind of breaking down the differences between those, that this one has more of a circular motion to extract the juice, and this one is basically a press to extract the juice. I have 4 cups of celery here, so I'm gonna first run through 4 cups of celery through the Nama juicer, and then I'm gonna run 4 cups of celery through the centrifugal juicer. Let's get started. Now that I've just run 4 cups of celery through the Nama juicer, I'm now gonna run 4 cups through the centrifugal juicer. Okay, we have made some celery juice, and I just have a few thoughts for you, where I'm gonna share with you things that I've noticed in my process of using both juicers. So first and foremost, it's pretty clear you can see that more juice was extracted from the celery from the Nama juicer than the centrifugal juicer. I also want you to notice that this juice is lighter, and this juicer is significantly darker with more foam. Now the foam is actually an important thing to note. Not only because you don't want your juice to be foamy, but also it's a bit more of an indicator to show you that more oxygen has been exposed to this juice than to this juice. And you can already tell that this juice is beginning to oxidize and separate. And this juice, the color is staying, and I see absolutely zero separation happening in the juice so far. So you can tell between the juices that this one's starting to oxidate and turn color and separate. It also has more foam at the top. This one has a very beautiful stable color, no oxidation happening so far, no separation happening so far, and little foam at the top. While using the juicers, another thing that I noticed is that I could feed the celery pieces into this juicer and not have to push anything down. It just juiced them on its own. This machine is also way more quiet than this machine. For this machine, you will have noticed that I had to push the plunger in, that sometimes the juice or even just the pieces getting pushed in here would splash back at me or pop out. And it's very, very loud. So now we're gonna be comparing the pulp from each juicer. And I actually feel like this is probably one of the most important things you can do to compare juicers, or it's one of the best indicators to show you how good the juicer actually is. So I'm gonna be looking for dryness and quantity. Now both of these things are important for reasons I'm just about to show you, but first let's look at how little pulp came out of the Nama. And this pulp is extremely dry. Look at that, it's just, I can squeeze it, nothing comes out. Look at how little pulp there is right there. So now we're gonna take the pulp from the other juicer. We're gonna pour it in here. So now let's look at the differences in the pulp. There is twice as much pulp in this bowl as there is in this bowl. And while I know that this pulp is extremely dry, this pulp is extremely moist and wet. If I weren't wearing rings, I could squeeze this and probably get a few more drops of juice out of here. You'll notice that it sticks to my fingers, which is another indicator of a lot of moistness happening. That means that you could have gotten more juice out of that pulp. If I use it on this hand, right, if I get my fingers all messed up in it, you'll see there's very little that sticks to my hands. So why does quantity matter? Why does dryness matter? Quantity matters because it means over time, the juice with the drier pulp or the least amount of pulp is going to yield you the more juice over a longer period of time, which means you'll use less produce, you'll spend less money on produce, you're gonna get the maximum amount of juice out of your produce, and it ultimately saves you. It saves you. You know that you're gonna get more efficiency from a cold press than you would a centrifugal juicer. I also would like to point out to you that this pulp has chunks of celery in it still, so you can see that it wasn't properly cut up or shredded, but this celery, very evenly shredded. I could very easily use this pulp to make celery salt, use it in crackers, put it in a dip, a dressing. I'd most likely have to repurpose this one and blend it or shred it over again to use it. Now for the final taste test, I'm gonna first try the juice from this juicer. Okay, there's number one. Okay. I have to say I can absolutely taste a difference. I'm gonna do just one more time. Okay. Wow. I'll be very honest with you, I wasn't expecting to taste such a stark contrast of a difference, but I will say this. This one is saltier and sweeter. This one actually tastes like it's oxidized a little bit already. And you can tell the difference in the colors. So you can taste the difference of the juice. So, all right, so we've talked about the quantity, the pulp, the quality, the mechanics of the juicer. On Nama's website, they do state that you get 60% more juice out of your leafy greens than you do from other juicers. Now, I didn't use a leafy green here, I used celery, but I was still able to see a difference from juicing the same amount in each juicer. So I believe that there's a better yield from here. I can taste a better quality. The texture's smoother, there's more flavor, and you get less yield of pulp, which is also a positive benefit. So, in this first comparison, I would say that the Nama won the first comparison test. Cheers. So now we're gonna be doing a pineapple juice comparison. And pineapple is actually one of the most difficult things to juice. If you've ever tried to juice pineapple, you know it's tricky because it gets backed up in your juicer easily. So we're gonna try pineapple. I also wanted to say in the last comparison, I didn't double strain my juices, which I normally do. I'm gonna double strain this juice to see if it makes any difference as well. So let's get started. I've got 4 cups of pineapple here and 4 cups of pineapple here. I'm gonna run each of them through the juicers. Okay, pineapple juice number 1 complete. Let's move on to this one. Okay, this was an experience for sure. I'm gonna go ahead and move these right here so that you can see this difference. Now I know these are different size containers, but check that out for a quick second. Let's get to comparing. Before I strain these, I just wanna show you how little pulp is in this container. Do you see how much juice is in there? Now look at this one. There's maybe about an inch, maybe right 3/4 of an inch thick of foam in this container. I only see foam, and this one I see tons of juice. Something else I want you to pay close attention to, look how clean the inside of this juicer is. You don't see any remnants of pineapple anywhere. But if you look at this juicer, look at the top of this juicer. I'm making a little bit of a mess here, but can you see how much pineapple is splattered on the top of it? I mean, this is kind of amazing right now. I was expecting a difference, but I wasn't expecting less than half. That's insane. Please note that juicing pineapple is one of the most difficult things to juice. So to see a difference like this is huge. This is the difference between getting use out of an entire extra pineapple. So imagine throwing away a whole pineapple because you're only getting half the amount of juice out of that pineapple. And then imagine getting 2 pineapples worth in one glass almost. All right, so let's compare the pulp. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the pulp from the Nama in this first one right there. Oh my gosh, look how easily the pulp slipped out of this container, right? And that's pineapple. You'll also notice that I still have some celery from the last juice in there because I didn't clean it out. This one, oh my goodness, okay. I don't know what to say here. This is gonna be difficult to measure because, oh wow, I want to show you something here. Do you see how there's water dripping out? That's pineapple juice that could have been in your juice, and there's still tons stuck to the side right here. There's no way I'm gonna get all of that out of there. And I am gonna disassemble this despite my knowing that this is not gonna turn out well. Oh no, oh my gosh. I wanna show you this that just fell out, and look at the top of this juicer. Look at how much extra moist pineapple is there. It's extremely wet. Okay, I am doing this for the sole purpose of showing you guys a comparison here. All right, let's get all of it in there. Let's get it all. Okay, I'm not gonna get it all. There's no way, but things just got really messy in my kitchen. All right, so let's look at the differences here. I would say that there's about half the amount of pulp from the Nama juicer as the centrifugal juicer. You can also see there's liquid forming at the bottom of this pulp. Do you see that? If I tilt it forward, you'll see that there's liquid forming right there. You see that liquid there? That could have been in your juice. If I lift this up, this is a very, very moist, sticky, slimy pineapple, almost sludge. This is extremely dry. It's just dry bits of pineapple. Still moist because it's a fruit, but definitely not as much left in this pulp as this pulp. Again, I want to note that feeding your fruits or vegetables into this juicer is way easier. It does the work for you. You don't have to spend as much effort or pushing fruits and vegetables into this juicer. And this juicer, you do have to push them in, and you kind of have to cover it so they don't splash back at you. And this juicer is definitely louder on the ears. Okay, so final taste test. I do want to show you here. Can you guys see the oxidation happening between these juices already? Do you see this like light separation happening right here? And it's only been a couple of minutes. I see no separation on this side, but I do see separation here. So let's take a test. I'm gonna do the centrifugal juicer first. Okay, okay. My gosh, okay. I'm continuously surprised at how much sweeter this juice is. It tastes like real pineapple juice. It is smooth and it's almost like a creamy juice. It tastes like liquid honey. Oh my goodness. This tastes like liquid honey. Not kidding. This juice, the taste isn't as strong. It's still good, it's still sweet. but I can definitely tell that there are air bubbles in there, so the texture isn't as smooth. And there's a bit more foam that you kind of drink when it goes down. So just noting those differences. This one is definitely sweeter and has more of a maple syrupy texture to it. It's just very thick. And this one feels more like a frothy liquid, but still very good and sweet. And yeah. All right, so you guys can see the difference between these two pineapple juices. The Nama definitely extracted more, the flavor is better, and there was less pulp. The last thing we're gonna compare are carrots. I have 4 cups of carrots here, 4 cups of carrots here. I'm gonna run each through the juicers. Let's get started. Alrighty, so again, can you see a difference in the quantity of juice, color, and foam? This just keeps getting more and more interesting. One of the reasons why I chose to juice carrots for a comparison is because it's also difficult to juice carrots. You're usually left with a lot of pulp and very little juice. So you can actually tell a difference between these two glasses. There was more juice extracted from the Nama. I would say maybe like a centimeter more. But the most stark difference that I'm noticing right now is that this juice is darker than this juice, which means oxidation is already taking place really quickly in this juice. You can see that this carrot pulp from the Nama, extremely dry, and I actually prefer to use the dry pulp from my juice to make my carrot cake. Look how dry this is. It just rolls off my fingers with very, very little effort. It's dry carrot pulp. So now let's take the carrot pulp out of here and let's go ahead and pour it, pour it on in. So I wasn't able to get all of the carrot pulp off the sides of this container. As you can see, the pulp is still pretty wet and sticky. But let's take a comparison. So I would say they're about the same, almost. There is a little bit more in here. But another thing to note is the color. Do you see a difference of color between this pulp and this pulp? You can tell that this one went through a much heavier extraction process. The color is already turning brown on this pulp, and this pulp is still bright orange. So what does that mean exactly? It means that less oxygen, less oxidation is happening during this extraction process than this one. And oxidation is a pretty good clear indicator of the freshness of your juice and how long it will last. So if we're talking about keeping your juices in a sealed tight container in your fridge, this one's gonna last longer. This juice you could probably go 2 days in your fridge, maybe 3, without drinking it, and my guess would be this one would probably go rancid within a day, maybe 24 hours, no longer than 2 days for sure. Taste test time. I'm gonna try the centrifugal first and then the Nama. Sweet, tastes like carrot juice. Smooth, okay, good. This one is surprisingly sweeter. This one actually tastes more like a straight up vegetable carrot juice. This tastes like a sweeter, smoother carrot juice. Like you can just, the difference is definitely in the taste. You can taste the quality of the juice for sure. So I've completed juicing the celery, the pineapple, and the carrots, and I've put all of the leftover juices in smaller jars for us to see more comparison, I guess, more comparison points. A very clear difference is that the Nama produces more yield per juice or per ingredient. You just get more juice out of a slow cold press masticating juicer. You can also see how there is a separation happening between each of the centrifugal juices. Like, do you see this? You can see it more clearly in the pineapple juice. You can also see it a bit more in this celery juice. So you see the separation, and you see that there's a darker color already happening with the centrifugal juicer's juice because it's already starting to oxidize. Is it necessary to double strain all your juices? No, but I like to do it because I love my juice very smooth with as little foam as possible, and it's just overall a more pleasant experience when drinking juice. I will say this, the Nama has a double built-in strainer already in there, so you don't have to double strain your juices. You won't get as many bits and pieces of fiber in your juice as you would the centrifugal juicer. That's also a plus for me. Some other points that I'd just like to point out here are, not only does this machine look more aesthetically pleasing in the kitchen, but I don't like how this machine spoots out ingredients at you. It can be a lot more messy. Also, if you're talking about juicing with your families, I know that this one has safety features built in so that small kids can participate. As far as the Nama goes, I definitely know you're gonna get more use out of this anyways, because not only does it have a juice strainer, but anytime that you wanna make a smoothie or a nut milk, you can use the smoothie strainer. And as I showed you in a previous video, you can also use this strainer to make ice creams or sorbets. So usability wise, you can do more with this. Overall, one of the main points that I wanted you to see or to take away from this video is that the quality of your juicer matters. Now, I know people will say, well, I can't afford that right now, so I'm using this one. Totally fine. But for people who come into the equation and say, oh, I'm not gonna invest money in my health, I'm not gonna invest money in a juicer, I'm just gonna go with the cheapest possible, I want you to know that in the long term, you're gonna spend more money on fruits and vegetables for this juicer, and this juicer might break on you a couple of times. I know that because I've gone through every juicer. In the long term, you're gonna end up spending more money with a cheaper juicer, whether it be on fruits and vegetables or on having replaced the juicer multiple times. I can tell you that for a fact. When you do invest in a more expensive juicer, not only do you get more yield out of your juice, but in the long term, you save money. There's a 10-year warranty on this Nama juicer. 10 years, that's a very solid investment. And when you're talking about the difference in yield that you see here, you're gonna end up saving money on your fruits and vegetables long term. So when people ask me why is it important to invest in a more expensive juicer, that is my main answer. If you're gonna invest in your health, you wanna be able to get the most out of the product that you're purchasing. You wanna get the one that's gonna last you the longest, the one that's going to yield the most for you, and the one that's gonna save you the most money long term. So I definitely have to say this. Overall, for every single comparison that we did, the Nama one hands down for me. However, that doesn't mean that this is a bad machine. You can still make juice from this, you can still get benefit from this, and for every single person who does have a juicer like this, maybe just consider over time getting a better juicer to invest more into your health. And you don't have to listen to me on any of these points. I'm merely just sharing because I think this information is valuable. And since so many people ask me, this is a really useful video to share with people when they're looking at the differences. If you're interested in the Nama juicer, then click on the links below. There's a 10% off discount waiting for you. And they also have payment plans available for those who can't afford it all at once, but might want to split up the payments over time. I hope this juicer comparison video was helpful to you. If you've enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up or hit the subscribe button because there's only more epicness to come. I'm so grateful to have you here. If you're interested in joining our 21-day challenge, if you're interested in getting into juicing or eating more plant-based or going vegan, please join. It's so much fun, and we're just having a blast going live every day in our Facebook group. So please join. The links are there for you below. If you're interested in a Nama juicer and getting 10% off and even entering our giveaway, please also click on the links below. And don't forget that if you sign up for our challenge, you'll get access to a live hangout where me and Joe are gonna talk all about juicing and exciting things. It's gonna be awesome. Thank you all so much for joining me today. It has been an absolute pleasure. Can't wait to see you all in my next video and sending you all my hugs and my love.